Well, hi, it's Carrie Scroggins from Texas. Coming to you today, I want to talk to you about dealing with a multitude of stresses in our lives. I'm 62. I'm not retired. I work full time. I own 3 businesses. I have some medical challenges that have materialized. I have a chronic condition. 2 years ago, I lost my mom. And it's been a perfect storm of stress in my life since August of 2022. It's almost 2 full years. I'm talking more stress than the norm. And this video is to discuss ignoring that stress and why that's not a good idea. I have been really ignoring it. I've just been doing one thing after another, addressing one crisis after another. My mom's illness, my mom's passing, my husband's chronic illness that came to a head last December. He needed major surgery. He was disabled for 2 months. I had an implant replaced for my chronic condition. My oldest son had 2 surgeries back to back. My daughter-in-law delivered my 4th grandchild. That's not a bad thing, but that's an additional stress that as a mother we worry about. Then in February I had to have shoulder surgery. Unfortunately, that shoulder surgery did not work. I had another shoulder surgery 3 weeks ago. And I've been living with the insurance industry and the unbelievable amount of stress I face every single day, from unhappy, angry, sometimes rude customers, and just that on top of the normal stresses that we go through in life, stresses in our marriage, stresses with our children, the unbelievable financial stress that the majority of us are facing, the world that is incredibly negative. It's just a perfect storm. And then you add all of that to surviving COVID, all in a 3-year period of time. And I was ignoring it. I wasn't sleeping either. Now my body has decided that it's had enough. And it is sending me warning signs in my eyes. And there's nothing there. You can't fool around with your eyes. Your eyesight is so important. I can't even think about it. I can't even articulate it. But my body is telling me enough is enough. You have got to get your stress under control. And as a society, we've always known that stress is a bad thing, that it's a silent killer, but we don't do enough to alleviate our stress. One of the biggest stressors on our physical and emotional health is this thing I'm talking into, this phone. The computers that we deal with every day. The life that is now centered around electronics. Really. And we don't take enough time as a world society to get off of these things. So this is why I'm doing this video today. I've maintained for a long time on my YouTube channel in my messages that we've got to decompress on the weekends. We got to do better than that. We've got to every single day get away from the computer and get away from the cell phones. And we need to be giving it 3 to 4 at the minimum 10-minute breaks off of these things. Get out of the light. Let your eyes rest. Get away from the artificial light. And we've got to control our stress, because stress is gonna figure out a way to manifest itself somewhere. It just does. And for me, It's given me a big hello, wake up, pay attention. You need to get your stress levels under control because your body is on the brink. That's why I'm doing this video. Because you cannot continually add on top, keep filling that jar, keep loading things into it. One stress, another stress, another stress, an emotional stress, a physical stress, a family stress, a financial stress, a world stress, a political stress. I mean, it's just this perfect storm. And I know I'm not the only one dealing with this. I talk to people every day who are in the same position, maybe not with the same things, but they are dealing with unbelievable stresses. And stress is a silent killer that will figure out a way to seep somewhere where you are at risk. For me, it happened to be in my eyes. And this is a big, big, big wake-up call to me. And I have to do a better job of taking care of myself physically. It's just not physical though. It's emotionally too, because stress is emotionally exhausting. You know this. Human beings know the unbelievable toll that stress can take on you emotionally. It can send you spiraling into depression. In my community recently, in my golfing family recently, we had a suicide because stress just was too unbearable. Life was just too unbearable. And that is incredibly sad. So, this is a message, this is a wake-up call. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I'm too young to have all of that. Wrong. Well, I don't have those symptoms. Okay. Where is it manifesting then? It is in the top 5 conditions that lead to death, or that cause a condition that leads to death in our society. You don't think that's a wake-up call? I sure do. And I've been ignoring it way too long. I can't any longer. So now I'm going to take steps every day to give myself the break that it needs to decompress. Not just on the weekend, every day. And I've made a really big decision that is, when you read all this research, I'm going to turn my phone off 2 hours before I go to sleep. I'm going to put my alarm on, and then I'm done. I'm not going to look at it anymore. Because there are studies that are showing that if you're on your phone for this extended period of time before you go to sleep, it interrupts your ability to really rest. And I'll admit it, I've got to stop. And that is my commitment. The first thing that I'm going to do is to put my phone down 2 hours before I go to sleep. And I'm going to make sure every single day that I get off my computer and I get off my phone at least 4 times a day for at least 10 minutes. I'll probably go to 15 minutes 4 times a day to ensure that I'm giving myself and giving my eyes the necessary time to decompress and get away from this artificial light. So, I've done 2 videos today specifically talking about the 2 conditions that knocked me over the head yesterday and made me freak out and panic, and I don't want anybody to panic. So I've made 2 videos about those things, and if any one of those things resonate with you or you are having these symptoms, please stop what you're doing, get on the phone, and call and go see a medically trained eye doctor. It's so important. Don't ignore your signs of stress, because some way, somewhere, somehow, it's going to come and it's going to bite you in the ass, and it's going to say to you, enough. Pay attention. You're not paying attention. It's happened to me now, and I don't want it to happen to you. So, please watch this all the way through and make yourself a promise that you will do everything you can to control all of the stresses in your life so you can give yourself the best life possible. Stress is no joke. We're never going to alleviate all of it, but we've got to do a better job as individuals, as families, as societies for controlling it. And the most important thing we can do is to take time off of these phones and take time off of the computers and the televisions and get back outside. Think about it. Think about all the things that we're now dealing with because of these computers. We can't even run our households now without computers and without the internet. Right? I mean, how many of us have lost power in the here in Houston anyways in the last month, and we couldn't do anything. We couldn't do anything except get in the car and go somewhere. That's the only thing we could do. We couldn't pay our bills, we couldn't watch TV. A lot of us who work from home, we couldn't work from home. The technological generation and all of its marvels have consequences. And those consequences are the emotional and physical well-being of all of us. Let's take back that control by saying to ourselves, we have got to get off of them, put them down, and rest. I really hope this message resonates because it is an important message. And I know there's others out there that are suffering and struggling and feel like it's just all closing in on them. With support and help, we can all get through it. Kindness and generosity goes a lot farther than hatred and discourse. Be nice to each other. Help each other. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice. Does it? I don't think so. Please take care. I hope this message is a message that resonates. Doesn't matter how old you are. We all stress. Just look at our children. I've got 4 grandchildren, and their stress levels are absolutely far higher than I ever had as a child. We've, as a society, have got to do a better job of coping with all the stresses. And the first part of that is helping each other with kindness, love, generosity. Love is the greatest, most powerful thing on earth, and we need to share it more. And we need to eradicate, if we can, the hatred and discourse. We really don't like that stuff, do we? I don't. I don't want to listen to hatred and discourse. I would much rather listen to joy, happiness, and love. That is my new commitment to everybody that crosses my path. God bless. This is Carrie from Texas. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday.